Hi there! Today we'll look at the process of integrating Trackunit's GraphQL API with the Iris app. We will do this by exploring the GraphQL Explorer and fetching interesting data using custom queries. By the end of this guide, you will have a solid understanding of how to exploit the GraphQL API, create custom queries and display the fetched data inside of your Iris app. But before we start, make sure to have the prerequisites down. You should have a basic app and extension already set up and npm installed our GraphQL tools. If you haven't already, go through our Getting Started guide and come back to this video later. And with that aside, let's dive into the GraphQL API.
So the first thing we want to do is to navigate to the GraphQL Explorer. So open your browser and head over to the URL that you see on your screen right now. It is also listed in the guide below this video. Here we are met with a panel to the left where we can browse the available schema, and on this right panel we can type our query. But I prefer picking the fields that I want from the left panel and have the Explorer auto-generate the query for me. So let's do that and explore some interesting properties. Say we want to fetch asset information such as the brand, model and production year of the assets. Call your query something meaningful and remember the name, as it will be very important later. Now press on the run button to execute the query and shout at your computer for needing to authenticate. Nah, jokes aside, the easiest way to get a token is from the traffic manager by looking for it in the calls the app makes to the API. When you have it, paste it in and rerun the query and it should work. Now that we are happy with our query, we should prepare the app to use Trackunit's custom React hooks for GraphQL. So open your dev environment and navigate to the project.json file and add the GraphQL hooks to the targets node. I assume you've already installed the required library, otherwise run this command in your terminal to do so right now. And finally, you can create a GraphQL file in your source folder. I will name mine demo.graphql. Paste in the query we've built in the Explorer. Now we'll use the target we defined earlier to generate all the files we need by running the following command. It generated this file for us, which includes a bunch of useful interfaces and hooks. Most notably, it auto-generated a function called useGetFirstAsset query that uses the Apollo library to run our query against the GraphQL API. Notice that the naming scheme it uses has the form use, your query, query. Remember this so you know what function to call in your app, which is also what we'll try out right now. Navigate to your app.tsx, import the function and use it in your code. And now finally, let's head over to our app and see the results of our query. Here we've got the brand name, model and production year. Perfect.
And there you have it. If you followed along till this point, you should have a good understanding of how to exploit the GraphQL API, generate a query fitting your business case, auto-generate code that interfaces your app with the API, and finally how to put it all together and integrate the available data into your app. We've tried to make it as simple as possible to work with the data, and if you want to dig even deeper on how it all works, I can recommend checking out the relay specification, which our GraphQL solution is following somewhat closely. It is also advised to play around with the data in the Explorer to understand the domain model and available data structures better. So I hope that was helpful. See you next time.